Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Moped Mischief. Today, we do not have mopeds, we only have mischief. Except for that. So before Christmas, I was on Amazon, as many of you were, ordering Christmas presents. And while you were shopping for others, you probably did some shopping for yourself as well. Because let's be honest, nobody knows you as well as you know you. I think we all can agree with that. Amazon likes to do that thing where it says, hey, you bought this, you might also like this. And then it suggests something for you. It told me, hey, you bought 4-stroke mini bike, which I did. No problem so far. You might also like CROSSBOW. I don't know how those two go together. But what I do know is that Amazon was correct. I do like CROSSBOW. So I bought CROSSBOW. So today, in this video, we are going to be shooting an Amazon CROSSBOW pistol. Stay tuned. When I say an Amazon CROSSBOW pistol, I literally mean a CROSSBOW pistol. It's pretty basic, but it's still pretty neat. So it has this little thing on the front, which at first I thought it's like, oh, you spike somebody with that. But no, that's actually like a hand grip whenever you go to cock this thing. But I thought it was pretty neat still, you know, just a little jab pokey thing on the front. And you have like this pretty modern design to it, you know, like tactical look. So it has a little safety selector in the back here. It's ambidextrous, so you got that on both sides right here. So in the backward position is safe, the frontward position is fire. So it doesn't specify and say that, but it's on safety right now and you can't squeeze the trigger. So that's kind of how I figured that out. And then when you push it forward, you can squeeze it. So backward position, you got your safety right there. You got your front sights right here. And then your back sight is kind of just like this little spoke right here. I think you're supposed to be able to mount a scope or a red dot or something onto here. You can buy a couple different versions of this. And then that's where they would mount at. Overall, looks-wise, very modern design, but I feel like it's also very practical design. And every piece of this has its own part to play. So I feel like overall, it's designed quite nicely. So the arrow, or bolt as it's known, that comes with these. Very simple design, very small. Kind of looks like a dart, really, if you ask me. But it's got these plastic feather things on the back here, kind of how you would have with a normal arrow. Except there's only 2 here, little fletches instead of 3. And the reason why is this has a groove that it sits in on the CROSSBOW. This sits right in the groove like such. It's just as deep as the little indent underneath the fletch here. So it has that groove, it sits in there, it's like a little trough that guides that arrow whenever it goes out. So when you go to load this thing, it's actually quite simple. I want to make sure that's in the safety position, like I said. On the safety selector here, that's fire, that's safe, all the way back is safe. So you see this little button right here. You want to go ahead and press that down. And then you're going to start cranking this like such. While I keep my other hand on the front here. And that locks it right into place. Go ahead and take your bolt. There's that little trough I was telling you about, that little groove. You want to go ahead and set that right down in that groove right there. Up underneath this little catch, this little metal flange right here. Slide that right up there into place, and that's just going to lay right there on that trough, right in place. The arrow's going to go all the way to the back here, where it sits right atop that little groove. So whenever I press that trigger, that string's going to come up, catch that arrow, and glide it down to the end here, and that trough is going to send it towards its target. So we're actually going to go ahead and shoot this thing, and then we're going to see how it fires and kind of my thoughts on it. So I'm going to go ahead and take my hand and flick off that safety, push that forward. So now we are off safety. I'm going to keep my finger off the trigger till I'm ready to fire this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and take it down here. Bonzo, baby. Oh my. You can see where I got shot a few times earlier. I want to make sure this thing actually ran. That thing is deep in there. So now I want to check the accuracy on it. As you can see before, I did shoot it a couple times just to make sure it ran, but I didn't try any accuracy with it. I just shot it into there. And each time I'm surprised by how deep these go. It hits hard, it punches. But I want to see accuracy-wise what I can do. So we're going to leave this one right in here. And since I didn't draw any sort of target, we're gonna let that become the target. Like I said before, you wanna make sure that's on safety first. You wanna press that button in the back, give it a crank, give it a load. It's still locked in the back. I'm gonna go ahead and take my bolt here. I wanna go ahead and line it up right in here. I wanna make sure that's all the way to the back, and that's all lined up and good. The safety is still on. I also want to make sure, like I said, the back is locked in, everything is locked and loaded and ready to shoot. For this shot, I'm going to aim for the bolt that I already have in the board, and I'm going to see how close to it I can actually get and how accurate this thing is. Okay, that's actually pretty accurate. This thing has some punching power to it. So overall, I think it's actually a really fun little crossbow to shoot. Just be careful though, because especially anything that cheap, the strings on them, you're gonna experience fraying with those strings. You're gonna see pieces of those strings starting to come undone. So make sure you're keeping up with those. I haven't experienced, too much fraying, little bits on the ends, but nothing too extreme yet. But you do want to keep on that, because last thing you want is to go to take a shot and suddenly your string snaps, and then the arrow is supposed to go this way and it turns in any other sort of direction. So make sure you're just keeping up with that. There's really nothing wrong with it. I mean, there's really no practical use to a crossbow of this size, but overall, a very fun little crossbow. Definitely not a toy. Don't treat it like a toy, but if you're safe with it, you can definitely have fun with it. So if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to subscribe to the channel, please go ahead and do that as well. If you want to go ahead and leave me a comment down below, I do read those. So let me know your thoughts. Maybe if there's a video that you want to see in the future, go ahead and leave that down below. But regardless, that is all for this one. And until next time, go ahead and keep on scooting. We'll see you on the next one.